what really happened behind the fairy tale image of Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes? After years of silence, Katie is finally speaking out, and the timing has everyone talking. At 45, Katie Holmes is breaking her silence about Tom Cruise and his deep connection to Scientology, and people cannot look away. For over a decade, rumors flew everywhere. People whispered, guessed, and tried to read between the lines. But now, Katie is slowly opening a chapter she kept locked up tight for years, and it is changing how everyone sees that relationship.
Because you gotta love it, it's great here.
I love the city. It's always a bit of an adjustment because in New York, no matter what, if someone's being nice to you or if they're being mean to you, they're yelling at you.
Hollywood love stories can be wild, but Tom and Katie took things to another level fast. One minute, it was a headline-grabbing first date. The next, they were official, engaged, expecting a baby, and walking down the aisle, all in just 18 months. It was flashy, intense, and all over the media. Cameras followed every move. The world watched like it was a movie playing out in real time. But just like many fast and fiery romances, the spark didn't last forever. After the split, the real story stayed hidden behind polished statements and tight smiles. No drama in public, no messy interviews, just silence. For 12 long years, Katie kept quiet, but now she's sharing details about her ex that have people shocked and rethinking everything they thought they knew. So how did this high-profile romance even begin? And what really caused it to fall apart behind closed doors? Their relationship still stands as one of the most unusual Hollywood pairings ever. The age gap had people talking. The power dynamic raised serious eyebrows. They were at completely different stages in their careers, and it showed from day one. Before Katie ever walked into Tom's world, he was already living like Hollywood royalty, and that power difference would change everything. Tom Cruise was not just famous, he was a global superstar, a walking box office machine. His name meant sold-out theaters and massive premieres. If you've been around long enough, you already know his face, his voice, and that confident grin. He kicked things off in the early 1980s with Endless Love, then grabbed attention in Taps and The Outsiders. But it was risky business that flipped the switch and launched him into another stratosphere. From that moment, he was everywhere. Then came Top Gun, and that sealed the deal. Tom wasn't just an actor anymore. He was a full-blown heartthrob and an A-list force. The momentum never slowed down. By the 1990s, he proved he had more than charm. He brought serious performances in A Few Good Men, Mission Impossible, Jerry Maguire, and the controversial Eyes Wide Shut. He showed range, control, and major star power. Hollywood saw him as untouchable. Meanwhile, Katie Holmes was building her name step by step. She became America's sweetheart as Joey Porter on Dawson's Creek, a teen drama that turned her into a household name. She had film roles in Disturbing Behavior and Go, and while they didn't explode at the box office, she kept grinding and carving her own path. She was working hard, staying focused, and earning her spot. Even Katie admitted the gap between them was real. In a July 2004 interview with 17 magazine, she openly admired Tom and confessed she used to dream about marrying him. That teenage fantasy sounded sweet at the time, but real life is not a fairy tale, and the road ahead would be anything but simple.
Then March 2005 hit, and everything shifted overnight. Katie had just ended her engagement to actor Chris Klein, and fans were stunned. The breakup caught people off guard. In another 17 interview, Katie stayed careful with her words, but hinted that Chris wasn't fully supportive of her career. That comment spoke loud without saying too much. And then things got even more mysterious. Katie was caught on camera stepping away in the middle of an interview for a secret phone call. Cameras kept rolling as she said, "I love you." Later, she brushed it off and claimed she was talking to her mother, but insiders suggested there was more to the story. That short moment sparked serious buzz and had everyone asking questions. Something big was happening behind the scenes, and the public could feel it. Just 1 month later, in April 2005, the mystery turned into a full-blown media storm. Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise stepped out together for the first time as a couple in Rome, and the world could not believe what it was seeing. Tom was there to accept a major Lifetime Achievement Award, but nobody was focused on the trophy. All eyes were locked on them. The speed of this romance had people stunned. Speculation exploded overnight. Some critics swore the relationship was perfectly timed for publicity. Tom had War of the Worlds coming out. Katie was promoting Batman Begins. The whispers got louder, and tabloids pushed the narrative hard. calling it a PR stunt. Headlines spread like wildfire, and every move they made was picked apart.
Which Tom is a senior Scientologist. He's single-handedly saving the planet. That is the truth. I'm not trying to be funny. That is what we're told. That is what we're told. So if you say anything about him or do something like what Katie did, which was take her daughter and save her daughter's life, she's considered an enemy.
Then came the moment that either silenced the doubters or made the noise even louder. Tom appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and instead of talking about his movie, he could only talk about Katie. He praised her again and again, full of emotion, until he jumped onto Oprah's couch and declared his love in front of the world. It turned into instant pop culture history. The clip was everywhere. People replayed it nonstop, shocked and confused at the same time. Later, comedian Seth Rogen claimed the moment was exaggerated, saying Tom told him producers edited the footage to make him look more intense than he really was. But by then, it didn't matter. The moment had already taken on a life of its own. Magic or damage, the spotlight was locked on them from that day forward. From that point on, Tom and Katie stayed front and center. The public affection never stopped. They posed for cameras, shared dramatic kisses, and sometimes even repeated moments to make sure photographers got the perfect shot. One unforgettable photo showed Tom dipping Katie like a classic old-school romance scene, straight out of a movie. It looked larger than life. For Katie, this was not just another Hollywood relationship. This was a dream she once talked about openly. In past interviews, she had admired Tom's powerful circle, including director Steven Spielberg and actress Penelope Cruz. She made it clear she had big goals and wanted to rise to the top of Hollywood. So when Tom proposed just 2 months into dating, she did not hesitate. He asked her at the top of the Eiffel Tower, turning a private moment into a global spectacle. It was fast, dramatic, and impossible to ignore.
Tom officially announced the engagement at a Paris press conference, and Katie proudly showed off a massive diamond ring that lit up every camera flash. He called the proposal magnificent, saying Paris and the Eiffel Tower represented their love and destiny. It all felt huge, dramatic, almost unreal. Just 3 months later, in October 2005, they dropped even bigger news. They were expecting their first child. Their spokesperson said they were beyond happy. In April 2006, their daughter Suri was born, and Tom spoke about it like it was a life-changing spiritual moment. From the outside, they looked unstoppable. Fame, fortune, and a new baby girl. But behind the perfect photos and red carpet smiles, pressure was building. Tom's deep connection to Scientology was a powerful part of his life, and it quietly created tension. What looked like a fairy tale on the surface was far more complicated behind closed doors. A later Vanity Fair investigation claimed there were very careful steps leading up to Katie becoming Tom's wife. After his split from Nicole Kidman and his breakup with Penelope Cruz, reports suggested the church wanted him to find a new partner. Several well-known women were reportedly considered, including Sofia Vergara and Scarlett Johansson, but concerns about beliefs allegedly made things complicated. By late 2004, nothing had worked out. Tom was later linked to Nazanin Boniadi, an actress and dedicated Scientologist, but that relationship didn't last. Then Katie entered the picture, and everything moved fast. Just 7 months after she publicly admired Tom in a 17 magazine interview, they connected. Katie later told the New York Times Style magazine that falling for Tom felt natural because she had admired him for years. To her, it felt meant to be. Still, nothing about this situation seemed casual. Reports claimed the church kept a close eye on Katie's involvement, and a Scientologist named Jessica Rodriguez was allegedly assigned to stay close to her during that time. The spotlight was bright, but the control behind the scenes raised serious questions. Jessica was suddenly everywhere with Katie, especially during their European press tour, and people started noticing fast. She stayed close at every event, every interview, every red carpet moment. When reporters asked tough questions about public opinion or Scientology, Jessica would step in and redirect the conversation like a pro. Some journalists even assumed she was Katie's manager because she spoke so often on her behalf. The confusion only grew when Jessica claimed she was actually Katie's best friend, even though they had known each other for just 6 weeks. That timeline matched exactly with when Katie first met Tom, and it raised serious eyebrows. Jessica came from a wealthy Scientology family in the Bay Area and was part of the elite Sea Org, which only added more speculation about what her real role was. Then things shifted again. Not long after Katie publicly said she was not a Scientologist, she announced her conversion during an interview. The reaction was mixed. Jessica was right by her side, and Katie described Scientology as exciting. She said she was receiving spiritual counseling and taking courses.
Yeah, our family's gonna chill, and we're gonna, we like taking those times. I mean, that is a very special time, all these holidays.
Yes, ma'am, the data on the MiG is inaccurate.
How's that, Lieutenant?
Well, I just happened to see a MiG-28.
Wait. Sorry, Goose.
It's something that has helped me incredibly in my life.
Yeah.
And I've been a Scientologist for over 30 years.
Yeah.
And it's something that, as you know, without it, I wouldn't be where I am.
Katie also explained she still felt comfortable identifying as both Catholic and Scientologist. When asked if she felt pressured, she strongly defended Tom, calling him loving, generous, and kind. She said being with him was a privilege and insisted he would never force her into anything.
All of it led to their grand wedding on November 18, 2006, in Italy. The ceremony took place inside a medieval castle, with fireworks lighting up the night sky like a movie scene. Inside the stunning Otis Cocky castle, designer Giorgio Armani described Katie walking down the aisle in her elegant off-the-shoulder gown as truly beautiful. It looked magical from every angle. Even though quiet questions still lingered behind the scenes, the guest list showed how huge this moment was. Major stars filled the venue, including Jennifer Lopez, Mark Anthony, Brooke Shields, Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, Jim Carrey, and Jenny McCarthy. It was glamorous, powerful, and impossible to ignore. The ceremony blended tradition with a 20-minute Scientology ritual, mixed in with classic vows about love, respect, and settling disagreements before going to sleep. Church leaders were present, including Tom's best man, David Miscavige, along with his children Isabella and Connor, and his sister Nancy. Inside the castle's grand hall of the Caesars, emotions ran high. They were heartfelt toasts, and Katie shared a sweet father-daughter dance to Louis Armstrong's What a Wonderful World. The couple's first dance to Fleetwood Mac's Songbird looked like the perfect start to forever. But even with fireworks in the sky and cameras flashing, small cracks were already forming. The fairy tale glow did not last forever. As time passed, quiet whispers started to surface that everything was not as perfect as it seemed. When Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes eventually split, many fans were shocked. But looking back, the signs had been there. By 2010, the energy between them felt different. Rumors of tension and distance began spreading, even while Katie publicly described her life as incredible. In an interview with Marie Claire, she said she felt lucky to be Tom's wife. Her words sounded polished and positive, but behind the scenes, questions were growing. Just 2 years later, the marriage would be over. One moment that raised eyebrows happened months before Surrey was born. During a Barbara Walters special, Tom revealed he had bought a sonogram machine for personal use, before later donating it to a hospital. The comment sparked debate instantly. Medical professionals explained that non-medical use of such equipment was not standard practice, and the FDA issued reminders that private use of sonogram machines went against regulations. The reaction was intense, and it added another layer of scrutiny to their already high-profile relationship. The sonogram moment was not the last controversy. It added to the growing talk about Tom's very unconventional approach to family life. More eyebrows went up when actress Leah Remini, a former Scientology member, shared a strange memory from the wedding in her memoir. She described walking into a bathroom and seeing several women, including Tom's sister and an assistant, standing near baby Surrey during a tense exchange. Leah wrote that the tone being used felt shocking and not appropriate around a child, and she said the moment left her deeply unsettled. That story stuck with readers and added to the feeling that life inside that world followed very different rules.
When people looked at the bigger picture, a pattern started to form. Across Tom Cruise's marriages, there were claims of intense structure, strict boundaries, and ongoing controversy. Gossip columnist Perez Hilton even pointed out something unusual. According to him, his marriages seemed to end when his wives turned 33.
And I was invited, because he was in Endless Love. Tom was the guy in Endless Love who convinces Martin Hewer to set the house on fire and then be the hero. So I've known him for decades.
Tom is very well aware of what is Scientology, truthfully. He is very aware.
Some linked that number to Scientology history, noting that the Hubbard Association of Scientologists was founded in Phoenix, Arizona, which sits on the 33rd parallel. So when Katie approached her 33rd birthday in 2012, many outsiders quietly predicted a split. Behind the scenes, Katie was not sitting still. As pressure reportedly built, she hired 3 different law firms in separate states to prepare, just in case. To keep things private, reports claim she used a burner phone given by a trusted friend to communicate discreetly with her lawyers. Everything was handled carefully and quietly. Then there was the prenup, and this part shocked many people. It was reportedly drafted by Katie's father, who was a lawyer, and insiders said it was extremely detailed. The exact terms were never made public, but Vanity Fair claimed the agreement filled 5 full banker boxes. That level of preparation showed just how serious and calculated the planning really was. Reports about the money were all over the place. The Mirror claimed Katie secured a deal worth just over $50 million for herself in Surrey. But TMZ told a very different story, saying there was no huge lump sum at all. Instead, documents allegedly showed Katie would receive $400,000 per year in child support, with Tom covering Surrey's medical care, education, insurance, college, and extracurricular activities. The numbers varied, but one thing was clear: the prenup made the divorce move at lightning speed. The entire split was finalized in just 11 days, which is almost unheard of for a breakup this high profile. Some insiders speculated that Katie's father may have designed the agreement to fully protect his daughter and granddaughter, while also making the process clean and efficient. Whether that theory is true or not, the result was a smooth and quiet divorce by Hollywood standards. No dramatic courtroom fights, no long public battles, no explosive interviews thrown into the media storm. Katie released a short statement calling the divorce a private matter and made it clear her top priority was Surrey's well-being. Tom's representative also responded, expressing sadness and asking for privacy, while emphasizing his commitment to co-parenting and supporting his daughter as she grew up in the spotlight. After everything, the romance, the spectacle, the controversy, people wondered what came next. You would think ending a marriage to someone you once dreamed of marrying would be devastating, but Katie stayed calm and incredibly private. She didn't share much about her emotions. She kept moving forward.
Years later, a new chapter quietly began. Katie Holmes and Jamie Foxx eventually confirmed their relationship, but rumors claimed they had been dating privately for nearly 4 years before going public. The timing raised eyebrows because it came just after the 5th anniversary of her split from Tom.
Where that it's an organization that defrauding people out of their lives.
TMZ later reported that Tom had enforced a strict agreement that prevented Katie from publicly discussing their marriage or openly dating for 5 years. A source told Radar Online in 2016 that while Katie was allowed to date, she reportedly could not do so publicly, and partners were not allowed around Surrey during that time. In exchange for honoring that reported clause, Katie allegedly received about £3.6 million in child support and another £3.8 million for herself. From the outside, it appeared she followed the agreement carefully and stayed patient until the clock ran out. After the divorce, Katie moved in total silence, especially when it came to her relationship with Oscar winner Jamie Foxx. They first reconnected at a charity gala in New York in August 2013, but the romance stayed completely hidden. What makes it even more surprising is that they had met years earlier. In fact, Tom himself reportedly introduced them at a football game about 7 years before they started dating. Jamie was seen as Tom's friend at the time, especially after working together on Collateral, which made the whole situation feel almost unbelievable. Sources claimed Katie was extremely serious about staying out of sight. There were even reports that she wore wigs and hats during private hotel meetups to avoid attention. Jamie respected her need for privacy and constantly brushed off rumors, telling people they were just friends, even as speculation kept growing louder. By 2015, the secret almost slipped. Katie was spotted at Jamie's surprise birthday party at Le Labo in New York, and insiders said she looked completely smitten. Photos later surfaced of them holding hands at a recording studio, but Jamie still stood firm, repeating that they were only close friends. The mystery only made people more curious. As for Katie and Tom, their connection faded almost completely. Since the divorce, they have rarely spoken publicly about each other, and reports suggest communication has been minimal. They moved forward in totally separate worlds. In a reflective interview with InStyle around her 41st birthday, Katie shared that many people do not fully understand themselves until that stage of life. She explained that her experiences taught her to trust her own feelings and instincts. Instead of constantly deferring to others, she became determined to listen to herself first. It was a quiet but powerful shift in her story. Many readers believed those words were a subtle nod to her past marriage. In that same InStyle interview, Katie opened up about moving to New York City after the divorce. She described it as overwhelming: constant public attention, cameras everywhere, and the heavy responsibility of raising a young child in the spotlight. It was not glamorous. It was intense and personal.
Katie said what truly carried her through that time was not fame or money, but simple kindness from strangers.
Rachel?
I'd heard you were back. What are you doing?
Just swimming. Yeah. Wow.
One memory hit her the hardest. Suri was around 6 or 7 years old when Katie attended a ballet at Lincoln Center while Suri stayed at a friend's house. Around 10 p.m., Suri called and asked to be picked up. Katie did not hesitate. She rushed straight to get her. On the ride home, Suri fell asleep in the back of the cab. When they arrived, the driver quietly stepped out and gently helped carry her inside so she would not wake up. No cameras, no headlines. Just a small, human moment that meant everything to Katie. She never forgot it. What stood out to many people was who was missing from that chapter of her story. After the divorce, Tom was noticeably absent from her reflections. Rumors have continued for years about his limited presence in Suri's life, and the former couple has not been photographed together in over a decade. Recent reports have only added more questions to an already complicated history. According to a Daily Mail source, Tom has reportedly missed major milestones, including Suri's high school graduation and parts of her college application journey. That is a huge shift from a family that once lived fully in the public eye. Since the sudden divorce in 2012, reports have claimed Tom Cruise has had little to no direct involvement in Suri's daily life, and the questions have never stopped. In 2013, Tom strongly pushed back by filing a defamation lawsuit against Bauer Media after claims surfaced accusing him of abandoning his daughter. When asked directly whether Katie left to protect Suri from Scientology, Tom avoided giving a clear yes or no answer, but he did confirm one major detail that shocked many people. He openly stated that both Katie and Suri were no longer practicing Scientologists. At the same time, he insisted there was never any need to protect Suri from his faith.
That statement only made the speculation louder. Critics often point out that Scientology has strict policies regarding members who leave, sometimes labeling them suppressive persons and encouraging distance. Some observers believe that may have contributed to the reported separation. After Katie stepped away from both the marriage and the religion, insiders claimed a deep rift formed. Over time, reports suggested the distance between Tom and Suri grew rather than shrank. Sources over the years have alleged that Tom has not been actively present during certain milestones, including preparations for college. However, the divorce agreement still requires him to cover Suri's tuition and major expenses. Once Suri turned 18, the reported $400,000 yearly child support payments were no longer required. Even so, documents state that Tom must continue covering costs related to her care, including medical, dental, insurance, education, college, and extracurricular activities. A source told the Daily Mail that Tom has consistently fulfilled his financial obligations. At the same time, the same source claimed he has chosen not to take on an active role in his daughter's everyday life. That contrast, financial support but reported personal distance, continues to fuel debate and keep this story alive. Through it all, Katie Holmes has stayed steady and fully present in her daughter's life. She has raised Suri hands-on from a young age, guiding her through every stage with care and focus. Insiders say Katie has been deeply involved in college planning, encouraging Suri to explore different schools across the country. But Suri reportedly feels strongly connected to New York and has shown interest in fashion, all while staying close to her mom. Their bond has remained tight and powerful through everything. As Suri grows older, Katie is said to be balancing pride with quiet emotion. She is supportive and loving, but also aware of how fast the years have flown by. The once inseparable daily routine between mother and daughter is naturally changing, and that shift can be bittersweet. Still, their connection stands strong. So now the big question remains: was Scientology an unseen force that slowly pulled this Hollywood marriage apart? Or was this relationship always under too much pressure to survive? The debate is far from over, and people still have strong opinions on both sides. If this story opened your eyes or made you see things differently, make sure you subscribe to After Hollywood for more deep dives into the stories behind the spotlight. Drop your thoughts in the comments below and hit that like button if you felt something real.